Alrighty. Uh, Hello everyone. Hopefully nothing has caught on fire and we're good and live, and the stream quality is somewhat decent. No lag and all. But yeah. Basically, welcome everyone to the first AmberDrop stream. Uh, Very nice to have you all. Um, and with me, I actually have a little surprise guest, because I was a bit anxious to do this all by myself. And it's always to have someone right beside you. If stuff hits the fan, let's just say. And yeah, basically, I guess, Tristan, you can, I guess, introduce yourself a little. Say hi.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Hello, everyone. Really glad to be here, and thank you, Martin, for letting me on the stream here. Glad to help out where I can. Just a little bit of background, I guess, with me in the game. I did some assistance with the writing of the Dr. Okro notes, so I kind of helped lead the charge and brainstorm some ideas for that. And then I've just done some general creative consulting outside of that, just running through stuff with Martin, making sure everything sounding and looking good, did some script editing, and just kind of working behind the scenes and helping out, I guess, with the writing and content where it can. So just a little bit of background for me there. Other than that, I guess I'm just a huge gamer otherwise and a good friend of Martin's. And yeah, just looking forward to chilling out on the stream here.
Hell yeah. So that's Tristan for y'all. All right. As you can see, I'm a
Yep.
total natural at this. I've
You'll be
actually
fine. You'll be fine.
I've actually have had some previous live streaming experience, but nothing quite like this. So technically this can be the first one. So hopefully we will do fine. Hopefully also hopefully the audio is all right. Our audio is cool, and the game is game is gonna be of course way quieter, because it's us, our commentary that matters. At least we hope so. So yeah, and right before we go into playing the game, I do want to say a few things. First of all, uh, we're gonna have a very lovely little giveaway, which is gonna happen at the end of the stream. So be sure to stand by and check in once in a while, or it's gonna be a lengthy stream, but hopefully it's gonna be nice and entertaining, and we're gonna give you some nice insight into all of this game creation stuff and how we came up with things and all that interesting stuff. And we'll have three Steam keys to give away. Yes, so basically three keys. They're just gonna be shown on screen, and who's ever the quickest and therefore the luckiest will get a code for free. And if you already have a game, that's great. Maybe you can bring in a friend in the live stream. Maybe he'll get a chance to uh, get the game. Wink, wink. So yeah, that's one thing. And now let me address everything that's related to the update and all that. So yeah, first of all, I would like to apologize a bit, because we wanted to release this update a bit sooner, not literally at the end of December, but things happen, uni happens, overwork happens, life is life, and we try to do our best to release it as soon as possible. We're actually gonna meet one more time tomorrow morning to finalize the update and work on the very last things before we can push the update on Steam. Um, and yeah, in return, I guess this is how we kind of pay back a little bit for keeping you all waiting, having you giving you a little nice stream and some insight in all this cool stuff. And yeah, basically, update goes hopefully live tomorrow. Um, and as well, the patch notes, yeah, those will have to go um, live on January 2nd, because pushing the update is already going to be a bit too much, especially on the last day of this year. So I hope you understand. It's gonna be a pretty lengthy patch notes because we've done so much stuff. Some of like a lot of big and small things. Um, and yeah, but we hope overall you'll notice these like cool quality of life updates and all these cool stuff. All right, let's just cut to the good stuff now. Basically, yeah. So the plan is we're gonna play through the entire game and I guess comment it on it or whatever. Uh, yeah, there we go. Everything is nice and unlocked right now. So let's just jump into the first night. Also, yeah, I do have to apologize uh, one more time. um, I was making a build in the very last moment, I accidentally made a development build. It's not a big deal. The main irritants, yeah, basically, uh, these things will show up, and hopefully that's not gonna be too distractive, but I can easily dismiss them.
Hello there. You must be John Herring, right? Well, nice to meet you, Mr. Herring.
So yeah, here we go. First,
Yep, yep.
first
Here we go.
night.
Is to give guidance to my patients and provide a
Yeah.
And yes, and also I just want to say thank you everyone for tuning in too. Everyone in the stream so far. See in the chat we have Riley, Cloud Takun, Mr. Crow, Poopman5678, the Nijikaze Girl, Mr. Crow, Pause GD, and Gavin. Welcome all, and welcome everyone tuning in as well.
Welcome. Really nice to have you all.
Anyway, now that you have healed from your physical
Yeah.
we can start to work on your brain damage.
One person asked about like our plans for the next chapter. If you don't mind, we're gonna keep that question till the end. Fittingly, because we're gonna reach the end most likely, and then we can
Cured.
address that
To heal your brain damage, you'll
and
just have to
probably go into
Yeah.
more detail as well.
sleeping is the best medicine for your brain,
Uh,
as it is a good state for the brain to naturally heal itself.
let's see.
So just fall asleep.
Gavin's got a pretty good question for the beginning, actually. He asked, what inspired Try to Fall Asleep?
Cause you to hallucinate. And that could be a huge
Well, it's very interesting because
your stress will increase.
well, it's a pretty, I guess, lengthy story. Well, maybe not, but at least in my mind it is.
Not be able to arrive
Basically, so it all kind of started with myself, I guess. um, big surprise.
in the bottom left corner is your info pack.
I never used to be that into horror. Like I actually used to be, pretty negative towards it because I used to be like that guy who gets like really easily scared. Um, and watching a horror movie was a literal nightmare afterwards. Like every time when I would like, uh, goodbye AB. Basically, when I would watch a horror movie, I would have trouble falling asleep because uh, I would be always paranoid and reminded of the horror that I experienced previously. Like prime example, Paranormal Activity. Like when I first saw that movie when I was like what 10 or 12, it like really disturbed me. And let's just say the whole summer was kind of ruined thanks to it.
Yeah.
And then it came and went by, and obviously like this segment where we need to I guess fall asleep and we're kind of stationary in one, and we can't really move, we have to sleep here. Obviously that is somewhat of an inspiration from FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's. And yeah, actually this game started as a fan game, but when we started to build more things in it and expanded it, added more levels, more gameplay, not to mention everything that happens in the dream levels, it kind of
Okay. Now,
oh
close for a
Okay, that's a little bug we need to fix. But
Now open them.
yeah, it just like started as a base, and we believe like we made the right decision to make this not as a fan game. Obviously, maybe some people, hopefully, most people were okay with that. I I believe it's kind of similar to the situation with Mario or Sonic, or with PUBG and Fortnite. Like they share some very similar game mechanics, but they're completely separate franchises and stuff. So,
Okay.
and doing an early access has helped us tremendously to get some, budget for actually bringing quality and some nice models, and bring the whole game to another level. Hire voice actors, and in the end, it was a good decision. So, oh, there we go. Nice wall damage. But basically, it's a combination between um, getting scared and FNAF, I guess. Like those two things kind of mixed, and voila, we have this.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome though. Kind of just, stemmed out of I mean, both out of a, love for one game and out of your own personal experience.
Yeah. By the way, I really hope I'm more or less okay with answering these questions. I mean, I'm not that great of a speaker, but hopefully I'm making, sense here.
Definitely.
All right. Let's actually try to fall asleep in a game where we have to fall asleep.
Pause has a really interesting question too. What is the feeling to play your own game?
Well, I mean, I actually play this. Well, the thing is, when we develop the game, we're always kind of playing it. When we change something, we always play test it, and we're like constantly playing it. So the more that happens, the harder it becomes to answer that question, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
feels like I know everything. Um, but sometimes I do get surprised, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder if it's similar to like Hideaki Anno watching Evangelion.
Might be. I mean, he obviously inspected every frame of that, and for,
Right.
well,
Yep.
not all animation has 24 frames, but still a lot of frames.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, for you, I'm sure you analyze, like you said, you know everything about it, so
Yeah,
it must be similar to that.
and that's the thing. Since our team is still kind of small, only three, active people. We have, besides me, there's like a lead programmer, and then a lead 3D modeler, and then there's me, the creator, and I'm kind of the Neil Breen of this whole thing. I have, I do basically everything from programming, modeling, concepts, story, you name it.
Yeah.
I've acquired quite a bit of skill thanks to this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, maybe not skill, but maybe, some things that can be used to make this stuff. So the first night is never really that hard. Instantly gets jump scared. But let's see.
Oh dear. Look at the time. Please try to
Yeah,
fall
we only
asleep
have
before I
1 hour, but we're really close. It's kind of interesting to like multitask, kind of answer questions and
Yeah.
try to actually pay attention to the game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
hopefully.
Jason, thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
He just said this is one of his favorite horror games. That's awesome. Really glad you enjoy it.
Sweet. Oh, there we go. Enter the Dreamverse. There we go.
Okay, Kate. Just got into the lab.
That's a bit loud. I'm gonna
So,
adjust that.
what now?
Good. You should check out the power generator, the one that's near the water towers. It might be the reason for the whole power shortage throughout the facility.
Got it. And what about you?
I'll be at the main power box. I'll check if there are any fried circuits that need to be repaired.
Sounds good. If there's something wrong with the generator, I'll try to fix it the best I can.
All right then. Good luck.
All right. So let me slightly lower. Okay. There we go. Yes. What did I want to say? Okay. Yeah. First, you saw that like before this update, we had just a floating walkie-talkie in the air. Now we actually have a hand holding it. So that's hopefully a pretty nice improvement. And here
Absolutely,
you can
I'd
see
say so.
also some of the adjustments for the hallway, because some people said that the hallways looked a bit too plain and stuff, so we added some nice wood rails here. And another cool thing that happens is sometimes you'll get these weird effects where it kind of seems like the wall is kind of smoking. It's a very subtle effect. But if your stress level increases on the upper right corner, the more noticeable it'll get, and it'll get crazier and crazier. So I already know what to do, so I'm just gonna get to the point here. There we go. The good old generator. Click. Now we can flee. Here's a peek at the new redesign of classic monster. He's chasing us. You know what? I'm actually gonna get caught on purpose just to see his jump scare. There we go.
There he is. Yep.
There he is. And yeah, that's the completely redesigned model of a character. Of like, not the character, but a monster, more fittingly. I guess we can get in more detail when we reach night 2, when we'll be able to see him fully. But yeah, that's like that basically. Well, yeah, we'll get to it later. But yeah, so also another really important thing that people were saying was that the close the doors minigame was incredibly difficult, and we agreed because it was not possible to beat currently. Yeah, we kind of did a little oopsie and released, like, the last patch we did is like pretty solid, but this minigame was unbeatable. So that right now is fixed. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if it's still not broken, but hopefully it won't be. It should be working all good. There we go. And we also adjusted like the difficulty, so it should be a bit less daunting.
Nice.
Should be pretty close. Oh. Ah, there we go. See, now it's fixed.
Nice. It is doable.
It is possible to beat. Finally. And yeah, since we got one stress bar, you can see. Oh, we got just got chased by Mercs. The thing Jason mentioned, I guess, in the chat.
Yeah, yeah.
So since we
I
have
was like, Gavin was also. Oh, go ahead.
no, what do you want to say?
Oh, I was gonna say that Gavin was just curious about any future ideas or games, or if AmberDrop is fully committed right now, just working on Try to Fall Asleep.
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, the first and our main quest, I guess, our main mission is try to fall asleep. We do want to try to, you know, give that much attention as possible. It just would be a little insane to get into other projects, you know, and we only need to do 2 more nights, and although they're like only 2 nights, it's, you know, the thing that happens in those 2 nights is gonna be something interesting. We'll get to it later, but yeah. And what's after Try to Fall Asleep, you know, we really hope that, you know, this game will be somewhat successful, you know, because we have actually, since we've been like working together, like the 3 of us, we've kind of generated quite a few ideas for other games. So once this one's done and finished, we can jump into, you know, new projects, and we definitely have some cool ideas to turn into like actual games. Hopefully that, you know, I answered that all right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it definitely makes sense, and
Yeah,
the future is, I guess, always something to be thinking about, even with the current task at hand.
yeah, better like, you know, not overwhelm yourself and take too much that you can handle.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, since we have like one stress at the upper right corner, you can see like the edges of our screen have like a little like distortion effect. And when we
Yeah.
go inside the lab, you can see that effect I was talking about got like more noticeable. It's also kind of swiveling, I guess, mildly. So yeah, there we go. Right. Also, some people have like said, oh, what if the fuses were in different places each time, you know, you play the game? Well, on the surface that's not a bad idea, but even though this is just like the lab area, this is still a pretty big area, and you can maybe imagine how pretty, you know, daunting it would be to basically run through the entire place, you know, every single time when you revisit it. So, and you know, when you get a fuse, of course, you get into a minigame. We do have an idea to kind of shuffle the minigames, you know, just to add a little variety, some unpredictability. But yeah, that's that. All right, let's see what's next for us. Follow the light. Pause, it's all good. There we go. that moment when you, as the developer, have to be actually good at your own game.
Yeah. All right, Dev, show us your skills.
There
Prove
we
to us you're a true gamer.
There we go.
Uh,
Epic. So there are 2 more left. Oh, we got a message.
You good?
Yeah. I'm not feeling well.
If you need any help, I can come over.
No, it's all right. Thanks. You know what's weird? The fuses on the generator were missing. I'm currently trying to find the last 2 fuses.
Okay, that's a bit odd. That could fix the power surge, though. After I'm done here, I'll come over to you.
Sounds good.
Allow me to clear these errors so you can like read the subtitles. This is a dub and a sub at the same time.
there you go.
Problem solved. The eternal, debate.
Yeah, the never-ending debate of dub versus sub solved, both at once.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a nice little. So the thing with like when we remade that monster, we kind of had to go back and redo all these little scare events, and we also kind of enhanced them a little bit. So hopefully this should be a little more scarier as well. Not just because of the model, but thanks to a lot of also little adjustments to the lighting, the audio. Like for example, in the next night, we're gonna have like monsters come up to our bed, and you're gonna be able to hear Copper's like metal footsteps when he kind of walks away. So that's kind of really cool. And I guess I can talk about how I made that sound, because it's actually a Foley sound that I made specifically for that. Alright, so this is okay. So this might be one of the strangest like Easter eggs here, and I put that on purpose, because speedrunners or people who kind of rush through the game, they would just go in here, kind of look and yada 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 and go, go exit. And they wouldn't notice this. But for those people who like inspect every little detail and look for everything, like they would find this, and yeah, they had a little thingy there. So that's kind of for those people.
Nice.
And I also kind of find it hilarious. So there you go.
It's great. Yeah, I love it.
Alright, so this is the big difficult one. A lot of people were struggling with. And we've actually done quite a bit of work on this. Mainly with collision and some of the railing placement. Like, it should be a little bit more forgiving and less easy to screw up. And it's also shorter, so you don't have to suffer for too long. There we go. It's really hard to because like the key to this level is to kind of remain calm, but at the same time you have this music playing, in your
Yeah.
ears. So it's kind of really, even for me, I've played this like many times, and every time when I play this is very intense. There we go. See, so we cut a nice portion out of it, and it's now a little shorter. There we go. So 4 fuses down, 1 more to
Yeah.
go.
Yep. Yeah, Cloud, I know. Horror game turns platformer here for a minute. But that's okay. I love platformers, so I'm more than okay with that.
Obviously, that was Mario inspired. That's a very
Oh, yeah.
important work of art that serve a great inspiration.
Yeah. Did you ever get the chance to play Super Mario Odyssey?
No, I would have loved to, but I don't know. I'm not that
Never. Yeah. No,
huge
I
Mario
understand.
guy, anyway. So
Yeah. Okay.
okay, let's
Yeah. I
see.
mean, that was a fantastic platformer, I thought, though.
Okay, so there
Love
is.
that game.
So sorry, there is a little. Sorry to cut you short, but there is a little scare here, which happens like 50-50.
Oh, yeah. No. Of course.
But for those who replay the game and try to get it here, it's gonna be also really interesting. But yeah, I mean Mario, like those games are really well made and polished. They do stay at $60, which for a good game I don't mind. But still, I don't know. If I had $60, I don't know. I feel like I would spend it on something else. But that's just absolutely me.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Let's see. Whoa! Okay, I'll get jump scare on purpose, just to show off. Like, there we go. Just to see the next effect. Yeah, when you get like 2 stress bars, the walls get really messed up. Now you can also kind of see some weird things in them, or start to see some weird things in them, kind of like eyes looking at you or something. And also you get another effect when your whole screen is kind of pulsing in sync with the heartbeat. Let's see. We got all 5, and now it's time to activate the generator. There we go.
Hey, the power's back on.
Yeah. Looks like the missing fuses were the only problem after all. It doesn't seem right though. It feels like these fuses
Also,
are
a little
broken
shout out
parts.
to Zap King, one of our like
Just got
test
back into the lab.
players.
Let's
Like
get out of here
he's the
and
guy
then
who
talk about
hooked
it,
us up
okay?
with all these amazing voice actors.
All right. I'm on my
And
way.
yeah, like when we got like voice actors in our game, like it sounds like a very simple thing, but when the text is read out to you in a beautiful voice, it adds a very nice layer to the game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very immersive, and especially with the great job that the voice actors have done.
And we were like very lucky with the talent we got. Couldn't be more grateful and amazed.
For
by their
sure.
work.
Yeah.
Dead person. Who could have done it? Who's the killer? This is where the Knives Out plot starts. Yeah, cool. First night done. 3 to go. Let me close these. Yeah, I'm really sorry for these like console warnings. Trust me, they don't mean anything. It's not like we've left some mistakes in the code. I assure other developers would agree. But all right, without further ado, let's get into this second one.
Nice.
And it's like the first 2 nights are like interesting because originally we had the hiding and blanket mechanic in the first one, but we kind of realized that adding that was already a little bit too much for like the new player. Sorry, AB, but you gotta
Alrighty.
go. Yeah, basically, the first night had a little bit too much. The first thing you need to understand is like the weird quirk of this game, I guess, is to, keep calm and close your eyes and keep them shut, because that's the way you can actually fall asleep. And getting that, communicated and make the player understand, you gotta make it nice and simple and straightforward. So we put that hiding in blanket for the next night. And then we got the idea of making each night unique and different. Kind of adding new elements, new gameplay, kind of make each night unique and have you not play the same, level again and again. So here, yeah, we can hide in the blanket, turn on the light, and close our eyes, of course. Also, since a lot of, game happens when your eyes are closed, we had an idea to, basically put like a little interesting static here, where it'll kind of tease what's to come in the dream level. A little cryptic. Oh, there we go. There's the new guy.
Nice.
They can't hurt you.
And yeah, since we, remade him, we also kind of adjusted and remade his animations. And with that, we also improved the camera, like how it transitions from normal state to like jump scare states. Alright, let's try to fall asleep. Actually, I'm gonna turn up the volume just a little bit so I can hear the monsters actually.
Sweet. Did you ever end up watching any of the other Paranormal Activities?
Yeah, I think I've seen, I guess, the first three, because there we go. Because I remember, I think I watched the first one with my bro, and yeah.
Yeah.
Love him to death, but yeah, he obviously traumatized me with that. But yeah, and the second one, I think I watched at like a classmate's house, and then I watched the third one with my friends. But that was quite a while ago, though.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've seen a Paranormal Activity movie as well. But yeah, I think I watched one in middle school with some friends. And yeah, it was pretty freaky, I guess, for a middle schooler, but I wouldn't say I was traumatized, just more so had fun with it, but
Yeah.
those are something for sure. Gavin
Like-
wants to know what your favorite game is.
Oh, what's my favorite game? Well, I gotta really confess, I'm not like that good of a gamer. I'm like a filthy casual, to be honest. But I guess like a recent game I've really enjoyed was Half-Life Alyx. I guess it's maybe not that fair because it's that, obviously it's a very different experience to traditional gaming. But like the mechanics
Yeah.
of that game, like how the story flows, how everything is executed, it like blew me away. Not to mention, the whole immersion aspect of it.
Yeah. I mean that whole, just kind of pushes VR forward, that game did. showed what it was really capable of. Extremely impressive.
And also, obviously also kind of inspired me as a developer to kind of rethink about VR and consider, maybe I could do something in the future with VR. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
The new guy. Nice. All right. Doing good so far. Also,
Ooh.
basically, we went through each night and adjusted every thing that causes stress. So hopefully it should be more, make more sense and be a bit less brutal. There we go. Goodbye. All right. Getting close. And yeah, I guess I can say that definitely the biggest cause for delay for this update is definitely the input system. Not gonna lie. There we go. When you have when you have a game that's 60% done, kind of going back and deciding to change the entire input system, if it can be executed well, then it might be worth a try. But damn, it actually every single keystroke input and all that, not to mention controller support and what happens when you switch between the two, that was really tedious and challenging. There we go. One last hide.
I'm sure going and having to map every single thing is quite the endeavor.
And not just that, but we had to go back in some of our scripts and actually change some of the logic. Because again, it's a completely new system and it has a different way of working, and therefore the old logic that we used for the old input system did not translate as easily. In some cases, it's just trigger one function, but when that one function is wrapped in different dependencies and other functions, it's a little harder to do. So we really hope that we won't, obviously since we made the switch, it made a ton of new bugs, and we've been spending a lot of time cleaning it all up. So we hope we got the vast majority of them, and we're obviously gonna keep a big open eye to people who play this update and see if it's okay. Alright, so another little thing we adjusted here, so when you pick up this note, your view gets reset to the horizon, so you can actually see where this thing spawns or is, so you can catch it and start following it. Also, we added a nice little red point light to the chasing monster, so you know what's chasing you. And here's a little cool thing we did. Basically, before we had this menu system, but it only had it was in 2D, and it basically consisted of PNGs. Now we have an actual nice note menu with a hand holding an actual note, and it will also change nicely when you switch between them. That is very nice little touch. It kind of improves the immersion.
you got a few questions here. One of them from Jason. He asked, what inspired you to create Copper and Mergs?
Give me just a sec. I'll get right to that. Once I survive this.
Yeah.
There we go. So, what inspired me? What inspired us to create Copper and Mergs? I guess we'll start with Mergs because that's like the easiest one. Basically, it was a suggestion from my brother, and it was early on, like at the very start when the game was still in alpha. And basically, when my brother learned that I was like, you know, kind of making a game here about like monsters like attacking you at night, he suggested me like a creature from German folklore, and I believe it's called the Alp. It might have another name that's called the Mare. It's either the Alp or the Mare, and it's basically kind of like a little demon creature that sits on your chest when you wake up from like a nightmare. There's some like really interesting imagery with that, and that definitely was a huge inspiration for Mercs and how he came to be. And then Copper, basically he kind of wanted to have something completely different from Mercs. We wanted so all of those creatures are basically science projects from the company, and to show some variety, we decided to go with like a human, close to human character or monster. And yeah, we basically like choosing like a cyborg and testing the limits of cybernetics to like a very screwed up way seemed like a very fitting idea for it. And that's how those two monsters came to be. There we go. So we're strength
That's awesome.
is restored at night. Alright. And I guess since we're on the subject of monsters, I guess I can also talk about the third monster, which appears in the fourth night, like the mole rat creature. And basically, when we got to making the fourth night, we wanted to do like a new monster, and we had quite a few ideas. But the best idea that kind of went through was like a mole rat creature, because again it was pretty, you know, different from Mergs and Copper and the other one, and that basically was like the idea was have like a exotic creature that's kind of almost extinct, and then the scientists kind of captured it and, you know, researched it and did some possible experiments on. And that was kind of the base for that, and we kind of built up some lore for it, obviously the design, and yeah, that's how we molded and created Osor.
Well, here's a good question from Gavin. In your opinion, what do you think makes a horror game great?
One sec, Gavin. There we go. Even though I'm a developer, that doesn't mean I'm a god. I'm a god at this game. I guess that's a good thing.
John, are you there? You've been silent for a while.
Don't worry. I'm still here. Is there a problem or something?
Marcus disappeared. We heard knocking and he went to check it out. Then it went dark and he just disappeared.
Huh. Looks like our main suspect is on the run.
How are we going to catch him?
Let's see where the notes lead me.
There we go. Alright, Gavin, so your question was, what makes a great horror game? I guess that's a nice traditional question that, I guess people ask people that do horror games, but I guess I'd say, like, our best asset for trying to fall asleep is the fear of the unknown. Limiting the information and not knowing if you're gonna make it out alright or if it's gonna be fine. That's, I think, like the greatest asset to a horror game. I mean, if it's predictable, like when you know that there's gonna be a jump scare, or I'm gonna be fine, I just gotta do this. Like, that drains any tension or terror out of a horror game. So having, like, not knowing if it's gonna be okay, or not knowing what's hiding there, what's gonna get you, that's what we're kinda really aiming for. And then, of course, all the scary designs and jump scares, they kinda, they need to be earned and all that. Like, they need to mean stuff. Like, obviously, if you get jump scared, it's because you screwed up or something. But if you're really good, you can avoid every single jump scare. But still, you don't know if you can do that. And of course, the atmosphere, right? Like the mood, the setting, the audio, the visuals, kind of the whole package also kind of, makes the horror game good. And obviously, I know I keep saying this, but I hope our small team of 3 people has done a pretty decent job at these things, at least. Yeah, I mean, we're confident, but we hope others agree. There we go.
I would definitely say that they do.
Alright. Little music box. Cool fact, the piano you hear here, that's actually performed by me, so there we go. And the piece, it's actually a Latvian, it was made by, or composed by a Latvian composer, and it's called Melancholic Waltz. Yeah.
That's a neat little piece of info right there.
There we go. Almost got us there. Oh, sorry, didn't look. Whoop. Yeah, that's the thing with like 3D now. You gotta look if you're not in a bush, where all eyes are on you. There we go. What about you, Tristan? Are you into horror games? I presume you're not, but what are your thoughts on them?
I mean, I think horror games are awesome. I'm definitely not well versed in them, or I really have not had much experience outside of like Resident Evil 7 and of course Try to Fall Asleep. And then, I mean, what caught my eye really recently too was Resident Evil 4 VR. seems like that's a great experience.
Yeah.
So really outside, I guess, of, you could say those two franchises, if you will, I don't have much experience with them. Of course, I did play Five Nights at Freddy's too, back in the day when that was popular, so that might be my other, one piece, but I think they're really awesome. I think that they, fit their niche extremely well, and it's extremely impressive. I mean, it's the same with horror movies and horror games. For me, whenever I watch them or play them, it's just as much as enjoying the work put into them and seeing really cool effects and audio and visuals come to life. It's like some of the coolest effects, if you will, that you get to see, and so I think they're really awesome. And even though I don't play as nearly as many as I'm sure several people in the chat do, it's still great to be able to kind of see it behind the scenes and help out with some of the script stuff when I can. And I don't know, I just really love them as a whole and think they're really cool. So
yeah, and obviously some are better than others.
yeah, that's true.
That's feel true. Like it's
but that's any genre,
Yeah, I feel like that's a genre that's kind of like easy to screw up.
It is, yeah, it's definitely easier than others.
Because it's very reliant on its maybe not content, but well, like what it's. Okay, I'm not gonna try to be fancy. Well, like you need to nail, the atmosphere, the themes, obviously, the fear of the unknown, and all of that.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to a horror game you actually get scared by.
Yeah.
Yes, Steam.
The last game I actually.
What's up?
Oh, go ahead if you wanted to answer a chat.
I just wanted to say a dumb little comment that steamed hams is an essential menu item in the cafeteria.
Yeah. I was just kind of spouting though that the last game that I beat was Halo Infinite.
How was that?
And that was a pretty good game, I would say. I mean, it was way different, than every other Halo game, just because it adopted an open world format. So we kind of lost that, kind of in a way, just that linear, very purpose-built, leveling, I guess, system that Halo used before, and traded it out for a more open world. But the story was still really good. I think they righted a lot of the wrongs from Halo 5. And it was just cool to see Halo, be good again. And obviously just such an epic franchise, one of the biggest in gaming history. So really glad to see it back at the forefront in 2021. But that's the last game I've played. Currently I'm playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is a JRPG for the Switch, and I've been starting to get really absorbed into that one. But none of those are horror, but that's just what I've been gaming-wise playing lately.
Cool. I do have a simple question about Halo. Maybe not simple, but hopefully simple enough.
Yeah.
As a guy who's never played Halo, is Infinite like a good idea to, get into the Halo franchise, or would you recommend starting with like the Master Chief Collection on Steam, and then get into Infinite?
Well, it depends, I guess, what you're going for. Me being, I prefer single player experiences by and large from multiplayer. I mean, that's not to say that there are several amazing multiplayer games that are, that I highly hold in really high regards and put a lot of hours into. But in my opinion, Halo single player is like by and large the best part of the franchise. So because of that, I would definitely say start with the Master Chief Collection. Just play, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, which is just the remaster for the first game. And yeah, just go through the story in release order. You know, go play 1, 2, 3, and then ODST, and then let's see, then Reach, I think is the release order is what it was, and then 4 and 5, then Infinite. Some are better than others, of course. There's highs and lows of the series, but absolutely start with the first Halo game in the Master Chief Collection is how I would
Gotcha.
recommend.
Maybe it's finally time.
Yeah, I mean the Master Chief Collection is in a really good state right now, especially compared to what it was when it released years ago, and 343 have really cleaned it up and it plays well. And yeah, Mr. Carr, the best of the grunt commentary. The grunts in Halo Infinite are awesome. I mean, all the lines were. The elites had great stuff, so did the brutes. I mean, but yeah, the grunts and their propaganda towers too. Really funny stuff. I mean, that's the thing about Halo is that it mixes the perfect amount of serious and lightheartedness in it. And so you have like these really epic, dark and deep like story campaign moments, but in the levels you get these like it's kind of bounced out with these hilarious lines from like the grunts and just the world that's stuff that's happening in it. So it's just a really cool blend that's I guess only experienced or best experienced in Halo.
Gotcha.
But
well,
yeah,
Halo time.
good games for sure.
Time for some Halo
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah,
Alrighty, let's
definitely.
finish this dream, this nightmare
Do it.
rather. Watch out. Death has occurred.
It's Mark. He's gone.
What? What happened?
I saw him fall from the watchtower.
That's it. We need to contact Revival as soon as possible.
There we go, the plot thickens. More deaths equals thicker plot. There we go. And by that, we're already halfway through.
Nice.
So,
Gavin wants to know if you've ever. Oh, go ahead.
okay, sorry, but I was about to suggest maybe we could do a little break, like a 5-minute break. So
Sure.
maybe
Yeah,
we can get
absolutely.
a little drink, get rid of some fluid,
Yeah.
get a snack, likewise with the audience,
Yeah,
But what
and
was the
Gavin, we will
question?
get to your question. Oh, or do you want to do it now?
Yeah, let's do it now, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it now. We'll take a 5-minute break after. Gavin just wants to know if you've watched other YouTubers play your game.
Yeah, of course. Honestly, they're the biggest test players. If I'm absolutely transparent here, because we only have one playtester and he's great, we love him, but obviously he can't. Well, he can, but it's very daunting to replay the entire game and try to break it and check every single aspect of it, and we don't have the resources to hire hundreds or even dozens of playtesters, so we try to playtest it ourselves and find everything we can, and of course fix it. Even right now, I'm documenting every single little bug I find, and I'm gonna try to fix it tomorrow and all that. So yeah.
Yeah,
but
definitely. It's
I
always
guess-
awesome.
I guess
to
like
see.
Me watching, besides that aspect, it's very cool, especially like with bigger people, like it is a very surreal experience. Like the first time I saw like PewDiePie touch this game, it just like did not register at first. And one of my friends actually got upset because I wasn't showing any reaction to it. And he was like calling me and crying, "Oh my God, you're PewDiePie or Markiplier or Jacksepticeye is like playing your game," and I was honestly I was a bit caught off guard with that. That's in the game's very early stages as well, and it was still in a beta. And yeah, I mean, I still love seeing people, play the game. And it's okay if they don't like it or they don't have a good time. Though sometimes those people who play the game and they don't like it or they have some issues, sometimes like those let's plays are more valuable than the positive ones because they kind of hint you at a window of opportunity for improvement. Gosh, that was a very difficult sentence to say. But yeah,
You're good.
you have the kind of they have I guess more honest and brutal opinions sometimes, and it's good to hear those. It's
Yeah,
very valuable
I mean,
to hear
it's
those.
feedback.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully, I answered that more or less. All right. And yeah, I guess we can take a little 5-minute break. So it's like 30 minutes past whatever hour is on your clock. I guess we could return at around 18 o'clock.
Yep.
If that sounds good.
Yeah, that'd be 2:18 Eastern, and then I'm Central, so 1:18 Central. And
Ignore the
if you're in
hours and
America,
just
I
look
think
at the
you can.
minutes.
Yeah,
Basically
minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, take 5, and we'll catch y'all again here shortly.
All right. Be right back, everyone. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, you had a pleasant and nice break. And I think we're ready to move on. Gosh, I sound like a professor from uni taking a break in the Zoom call.
Yep.
Did
I
you-
think this is a little bit more interesting than a lecture, though, I must say.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. All right.
Yeah, if it's not, we're doing something wrong, right?
Yeah. Oh, it seems like Jason has a question. What inspired you to create Oz or and Bert? I already kind of talked about Oscar, but I'll briefly mention again. Yeah, Osor is like an exotic creature that basically we had like science project, and we wanted something that was kind of unique and I guess exotic and more
Yeah.
for exploration. Well, we wanted to have like a exploration and found like rare creature theme. So that was kind of the idea for us, and yeah, that's what and what inspired us. Well, basically mole rats. But we had yeah, like I said, we had a bunch of monster ideas, a bunch of like references and little sketches that we did, and the one that seemed to fit really well was like the mole rat, the idea of a mole rat creature. And Bert, what do you mean? Who's Bert? I haven't seen project file named Bert, so I'm sorry, I'm not too good at answering that. Wink, wink. All right. Oh, look at them nice things. Oh, they're gone.
Greetings, Mr. Herring. Great to see you again. And look at that. We have a brand new lamp. There's only one problem with it. As you can see, it's not working that great. Why? Well, it got damaged in the shipping process, unfortunately. I'm terribly sorry about this. We'll try to come up with a better solution tomorrow. Until then, I hope
Gavin with a very
you
interesting
help with
theory.
Alrighty.
Says
That's fine.
Revival is researching on bringing people back from the dead.
Interesting theory. Very
That is.
interesting. Very Frankenstein-ish.
Yeah.
But very interesting indeed. Oh, the TV turned on. Like, it's also like very interesting to hear how people kind of puzzle together what's given to them in the game and come up with their I guess, yeah, theories and conclusions and connections of what's happening and what's behind everything and all that stuff. It's like very fascinating to me. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And here, yeah, in this night we kind of introduced the pill mechanic, but also a very crucial mechanic to use in the next night. And I guess obviously we'll talk about the next night in more detail. But here,
Sounds good to me.
like, there's a new pill effect. Once it kicks in, it's a bit more visible. Before it was like a very dark grayscale. Here, at least, you can kind of make out the rough like things. But obviously, obviously, that's the limitation of the pill. So
Yeah.
it's handy, but you gotta be careful with it. Oh. So you heard a little like footstep sound that Copper made when he kind of turned. I actually made that sound at the start of December, and the way I made that sound, I basically asked my brother if I could lend his so there's the thing, I don't know what it's called in English, but the way it's used, you put it under your car, you kind of pump it, and the car lifts up, so you can
I'm just talking about a jack?
I guess that's what it's called, yeah. But then
Yeah,
you can,
car jack.
yeah,
Well,
car jack.
the car jack can be interpreted because that's also meant for like robbing someone of their car. But like a jack is just used to prop up the car, change a tire,
Yeah.
do whatever you need to.
So I needed,
Yeah.
obviously, since Copper, he has 2 metal feet and they're very substantial and heavy. I needed something that would produce a very nice metal and like a deep sound for like footsteps. So I took one of that things and kind of lifted up and put it down, and that's how it got created.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's kind of interesting to like, at least it's fascinating to me, like to learn how some of the sounds got created, like especially with like Star Wars. Like if you've never seen how they made those like laser blasts and lightsaber sounds, it's actually quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I actually in one of the film classes I took, we did a Foley. I think Foley is the correct pronunciation, right? I should know after taking the class. But yeah, Foley artist. We learned about Foley artists and
Yeah.
the studios and everything, and it's really cool. It's really cool to see how they
Oh, look at him.
make everything. It basically just engineers,
Yeah.
designers.
And audio is basically like another dimension for the game, essentially. Another sense.
Absolutely.
And you can spend insane amount of money for audio. Like me and my friend, we actually recently, nice animation, there we go. That's actually new, so you're welcome.
Nice.
Yeah, cool story, I guess. Me and my friend, we got invited to like a really cool like indie recording studio, and we got jump scared, but we fell asleep. That's all good. Yeah, so that studio, they made sound for like movies and some, high production commercials. And we saw that we were invited there because they were interested in actually helping us make the sounds for this game. And it's interesting because what goes into recording like Foley sounds, like they needed to record some car sounds, and they took a Volkswagen Golf and they, drove it, they drag raced it, they braked on dry surface, they break it on wet surface, on asphalt, gravel, all sort of, you know, that kind of stuff. Opened every door, every hatch, every lever, every handle, turned every knob, turned on the engine, you know, gas, like insane, like everything, anything that produced a sound, they recorded that, and then they remastered it in Dolby Atmos, like a surround
That's
sound.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. Dolby Atmos is really cool and really nice little piece of tech to enhance the you could say viewing experience.
And actually, I hope I can recall this cool thing properly, but the guy who owned the studio and gave us a little tour, he told us like, yeah, he's the one who told us that like games, obviously big studios spend a lot of money on like just the sound and Foley, and he said that like I think it was for like Call of Duty or Doom, they needed to record some gun sounds, and one of them was like a rocket. uh,
Oh geez.
so in America, they needed to record some rocket sounds, and obviously, I mean, you can own a gun, right? But you can't necessarily own a rocket, right? Like a bazooka or
Little
something.
yeah, that's I mean, I'm sure that there's a way given how, you know, American gun laws are, especially like in Texas. There might be a way, but it would be very, very difficult. It might not even be legal. I have no clue, but
yeah, so that's the point. They had to like consult like the military to, you know,
yeah,
go
yeah,
on like a old like a like an abandoned airport, you know, landing territory, or in a hangar or something, and
yeah.
and then the military guys are like, so what are you what you need is, what are you, you know, what are we doing all this for? And they're saying, oh, we're just making games. We're just making games.
Yeah, for video
we need
games.
a sound for a game. And like, sure, okay.
That's really funny.
So
Yeah.
anyways, this is the yeah, actually, yeah, I do apologize, I forgot to you know, reset my progress, so it kind of saved everything here. Kind of maybe is a bonus because it's gonna make the stream a little bit shorter, but still, yeah, we woke up here and we had to, I mean, yeah, you can look at some other Let's Plays, but you can see how the lighting here is adjusted, I guess. Sorry about that, but yeah.
Oh, Gab wants to know too, what inspired the name AmberDrop?
Well, basically, it was actually very simple, I guess. We needed, so I used to be all alone with this this game stuff, and once I got like my buddy Jorge, like the lead programmer, and then more people, you know, stopped by and freelanced and helped us make the game, it grew into like a team, and we kind of needed a name for that, and also needed, you know, to register, so, you know, I can pay taxes and stuff, and I wanted to have something simple, not cringy or cheesy, so nice and straightforward, that could do the thing of representing us properly. And since I'm Latvian, I guess I decided to do something Latvian related, and one of like the luck symbols or good fortune items is like an amber. Like there's quite a bit of tradition around amber. Basically, you know, ambers give you luck, fortune, and they're kind of like a beacon of, I guess, positivity and all that. And for our project, I guess, what we needed was just that, a little drop of that. So I guess you can say that's, yeah, that's an AmberDrop.
That's a cool name. I mean, that's obviously really unique, and it's really cool that you brought some Latvian ideas in too.
Yeah, I didn't want to call it I didn't want it to call it something like Exotronic Phoenix or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool names you could say from, game studios. But always, and no matter what you're doing with naming, simplicity is good
And it's very hard
for the
because
most part.
it's sometimes very hard because you can come up with a name, but then you want to register it for like a business or whatever, right? But then that name is taken, or you Google it and some kind of hair salon has taken it. And you're like, no. And then you're back to the drawing board. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen it in Futurama, but in Futurama there's an episode where someone wants to like register like a product or something, or like a business, and they only had 3 names left or something.
Oh, that is sadly very realistic, I'm sure.
Yeah, it do be like that.
Yeah.
What the?
Hey, there we go. At least we get to play this. So yeah, the reason why I jumped here is actually I had like an autosave here, so everything works properly. Don't worry. So yeah, this place. Also probably one of the biggest challenges for this update, because we also adjusted this here, because it used to be, again, like a PNG, like a 2-dimensional PNG, and it was all simple buttons and inputs and all that. But when we did it in 3D, obviously that's a whole new dimension of challenges. I guess that's a nice little pun, whatever. But basically we had trouble from going from this like canvas, like where one button is, to here, both with the controller.
Yeah.
And we tried everything. When we did the controller support, we tried to move the cursor with the joystick, but that did not work at all, and it was very unstable and glitchy. And honestly, some of it is due to Unity, because that new input system, although it's very great and there are a lot of cool things in it, they haven't finished some things actually, and there are still a few bugs that we had to like work around that were, caused by them. And combine all of that with all the logic that needed to be implemented. Yeah, that took a little bit of time, but no, you don't. So previously we had input fields, kind of like text fields in like a web browser. You click and you can enter your value, whatever. So unfortunately we had to say goodbye to input fields. So PC players are probably gonna be like, why? But trust me, it's pretty nice what we came up with. So basically you click on a value, and if you left click, the value increases, but if you right click, it decreases and makes a nice clicky clackly sound. So there you go. A little bit simpler, and also if you're on a controller, let's see if I can actually switch to a controller. I wanted to do like this whole let's play with the controller, but I had to like switch between OBS and this, and I wanted to be as smooth as possible. So here I'm playing with the controller now, like nice and smooth. I can run and all that good stuff. Also pull up the menu. and change the values with the shoulder buttons. And also gave me a little like hint of what to do when I'm using the controls on a controller. There we go. I'm gonna save us a little bit of time. Actually, I'm gonna show some cool stuff here. Oh, satisfying animation. Number 8. So we go to number and 8. There we go. And that's how we kind of find these numbers and solve this puzzle here. Also, shout out to one of my friends who helped me design this whole stage. Here, I'm gonna quickly enter the code. 3, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, 5, 8. There we go. Yeah, shout out to one of my friends who helped me design all this, because he actually used to, like, he has some experience in escape rooms, like, I forgot how it worked, like if he worked or his family worked with that, but regardless, he had quite a bit of experience with that, and you know, that knowledge of actual escape room stuff really helped to kind of make this whole thing, you know, interesting and work. So there's like IRL, I guess, knowledge applied here for escape.
That's really cool. Yeah.
And it's really awesome because, like, for some people, like, this is their like favorite level, and I can totally see why. And that's another, I guess, okay, that's another, I guess, tangent, or like, yeah, I guess yeah, that's what you call a tangent. Jump between themes or subjects, but it's interesting to see, like, some people, like, obviously, yeah, for some people this level is their favorite, but for others it's not. Sometimes it's pretty opposite, and yeah, that's also like, it's interesting to see what people like and what is their favorite part of the game, and it varies from person to person, which I hope is a good thing, because like, each night is different, each dream is different, and I hope that variety, you know, suits everyone, and, you know, has something for everyone, you know, to enjoy, I guess. Alright. So, this one was 5, 3, 4, 8. Yeah, my memory's still good. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna at least complete this, you know, because I guess it wouldn't be that fair. Have some, you know, competent gameplay at least. Alright, I need to get
There you go.
There we go. Little key. No jump scare. There we go. Get that. Get that. Now that's unlocked. Can get that. Also, another cool shout out to, like, Chris, the guy who made, like, this ominous, wonderful soundtrack you hear right now. Like, he's very good at, like, making these drone sounds and stuff. I usually kind of come up with all, like, the melodies for, like, the upbeat stuff, but then he makes these very ominous drone ambiances. Alright, let's see. Okay, I need one more switch. Got it from here. So, have you, Tristan, been to like an escape room, IRL?
I have, yeah, I have.
Was it like a big
There's
scale one, or
where,
like
you
like an indie small one?
I was like an indie small one. Like, I guess it was. I think the room fit. I don't know, more than like roughly 6 of us, I want to say. But it was basically just, you know, a really cool puzzle inside of it. We had to like figure. It was a very like investigative type of escape room. So we had to. I guess, you know, they probably all work along the same things, but there's kind of like a mystery you have to solve, and you have to like figure out like where the next clue is and what like the message, you know, you're uncovering is like trying to tell you, and that's basically how you escape. It was a few years ago, so I haven't done one like recently, but I had a lot of fun with the one that I did do. They're pretty cool.
There we go. We got the code. 2465. 2, 4, 6, 5.
Nice.
And we're free.
Congratulations, Mr. Heron. You've succeeded. Now, can you hear those screams? You should probably make haste.
Uh-oh. There's a little Easter egg. If anyone's interested, you can rediscover that. But explosion. Rest in peace, Tom. And with that, that was relatively easy. Obviously, I guess I was a little bit cheating because I had a save, but yeah, I apologize for that. This scene, though.
Greetings, Mr. Heron. Thank you for attending today's consultation. How have you been? Has my little assistant AB been helpful?
Yeah, AB is alright. But it's been a few rough days, Doctor. I think it's getting worse.
The hallucinations?
Yes. Every night, they start to appear more and more often. And they've begun to attack me more frequently as well.
Well, that is an expected part of your recovery, Mr. Heron. Some of my previous patients have had it worse.
How can I be recovering if it's clearly getting worse? It doesn't make any sense.
The human brain is an exceptionally delicate and mysterious part of the human body. To even attempt to comprehend its strange ways, one requires a fair bit of knowledge. Healing such a complex organ is not as straightforward as putting a band-aid on a cut. Therefore, brain damage recovery can sometimes seem unconventional. You went through a life-threatening experience, and you had physical trauma as well. Your problem is as physical as it is psychological. I strongly believe that the two are connected. Your brain will heal itself physically, but your mind has to work it out as well. It's all about facing your fears, overcoming them, and letting the brain work things out on its own. These things take time. In order to succeed, it sometimes requires one to venture down a grueling path. It's merely just a fact of life, Mr. Heron. Not everything is as simple as it seems.
Okay, Doctor. I just wish there was a better way. But I understand.
I hope you do, Mr. Heron. Rest assured that it's for your own well-being. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Well, Up until now, I've only seen those hallucinations at night,
Oh, sorry about that.
when I try to fall asleep. But one of them has started to appear randomly during the daytime.
Huh. Could you try to describe it, perhaps?
It looks like a tall shadow with long, pointy fingers. It's almost as if it got burned at some point or something.
Interesting, Mr. Heron. Interesting indeed. I'm not sure what to think of it just yet, but it might be a sign that your brain is... Mr. Heron? Mr. Heron, are you all right?
There we go. Yeah, that whole scene was very interesting, like, to make. Also quite a bit, daunting, because it's the first time we utilize a human character with, proper facial expressions and animations.
Yeah.
And this scene was like very important to make. Also, it's kind of a preparation for what's to come, later, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, like a really cool scene. Give me
Absolutely.
just a brief moment. Let's get rid of these troublemakers. There we go. Awesome. So, yeah, and I apologize again for the console thingies there. But yeah, one last night to go. I hope my save is not gonna screw it up. Well, not screw it up, but just like skip it ahead. But yeah. I guess Jason was asking, how did we create the sounds for Mergs? Chasing the player. Well, that's actually... So, we try to make everything as much as we can, but sometimes, due to time and budget, we had to outsource it to other places. And basically, like, the sound from Mergs, it's basically like a angry dog sound. It's just been modified and mixed to sound a bit more menacing and ominous. And then, the game does the rest with adding, reverb from the reverb zones and, the spatial audio where you can hear him run behind you and all of that good stuff. Alright, I guess we can get to the very last night.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Gavin wants to know if there's any little bits of background or info you can give on Revival.
Well, Revival is a very interesting company. They've been around for a very respectable time. And they are pretty big. They have, specialists and people doing a lot of things for the company, in a lot of, I guess, what would you call, segments of business, like, oil, technology, research, science, you name it. And some of it, is very mysterious. How are they so successful? and sometimes it asks you questions like, are they doing the right things, and the things that they do, are they okay to do, and are they actually like hiding things from the public? Like, are their intentions good or not? And what do they actually, if they're hiding something, what are they hiding? So basically that's kind of the, I guess, well, how would you call it? Generalization, I guess, of the company.
Yeah. So they're an established corporation who are doing morally questionable things.
But hey, but they're for the greater good, eh?
Hmm.
So it must be worth
Well.
it.
Maybe from a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi said.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Fear from the unknown comes from the darkness.
I know we
Kill it.
discussed this at the very beginning of the stream, but Killa did ask what were the inspirations for the game, if you want to run through it real quick.
Yeah, obviously, you know, my own fear of, you know, experiencing horror and then having trouble falling asleep at night, feeling someone standing right beside my bed and all that good stuff. Then, you know, seeing FNAF for the first time when it came out, and then, you know, obviously as a teenager getting inspired by that, and somehow those two things click together, and you know, we have this. Of course, I do get inspired by, you know, many other things and movies and media.
Yeah.
Like, sounds a little, you know, little cringe maybe, but yeah, anime for sure. Absolutely. Like, I know some people
I mean, there is a Steins Gate reference in here.
Yeah.
Of all things. Of all things that make us go into a horror game, something from Steins Gate.
Yeah. And I try to be, you know, very cautious when it comes to that, but I just try to do it not abruptly or make it so that it, you know, is obtrusive to the actual content for the game.
Right, just very subtle.
Maybe.
So, a mix of personal horrors with Five Nights at Freddy's, and then letting the creative juices flow from there.
Yeah.
Basically, is what it's, you know, probably a pretty good summary.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, chair. Let's take another pill. See, like people have said that Night 4 is like extremely difficult. And well, if you ask me, it's really not. I think the question of its difficulty comes from if you know, I think what it is that sometimes in order, you know, you want when players play your game, you want them, you know, to succeed, right? And you have to be good at conveying what the game mechanics are, how you should utilize them, and kind of, you know, give freedom to the player so he can learn himself and understand what he does right and wrong. And I think with like night 4 and its difficulty, it was the fact that maybe some people didn't fully understand like what the pill mechanic does, and we've addressed that actually here as well. Made it a little bit more clear. In the info panel that you can see the 2 levels in at the bottom left corner, there are like fast forward and I forgot what the other rewind, well, not rewind, but increase faster or decrease faster icons, and they flash when you use a pill. So adding things like that, even that, like, people didn't understand what to do. Basically, this is like a passive monster. Like, he won't attack you, but he will make it difficult to get some sleep.
Yeah.
And kind of helping the player to understand what works, what doesn't, what to do, what not to do, how things work is like the key to help them succeed and get better. And we're still amateurs, but we do try to learn and hear feedback and adjust things.
Yeah, of course. Gavin also wants to know who came up with AB.
That's absolutely me, I guess.
You? Yep.
I mean, yeah, he is very similar to the phone guy, I guess, in Five Nights at Freddy's. But how else are you gonna, kind of say what the hell is going on? Kind of explain some of the basic mechanics. And obviously, I didn't want to do a phone guy thing, so the second best thing is a robot.
There you go. Jason's brought some evidence with him here, and he says, "What inspired you to create Bert? You know who he is. You mentioned him in community transmission number 6.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I didn't pay attention.
Okay.
Here. Oh.
1 hour
Yeah.
left, Mr. Herring. You can do it.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, I can't fall asleep right now. Because he's around. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get to that question real quick. I do need to focus here.
You got a clutch.
Yes. Go away. Yeah.
Come on, clutch up.
So, like, with the input stuff and all the delays, unfortunately, some of the things we had to leave out and we weren't able to do. For example, we wanted to add more interactivity with the monsters. Like, if you get jump scared, you lose a bit of sleep, or like if you shine your flashlight on this thing that appeared there, it would make him go away faster on the expense of your flashlight. Stuff like that. We really wanted to add, but due to the wonderful and beautiful input system, I kind of had to postpone that. Alright, let's see. I'll clutch it. No. Okay, there's Ozor. You can say Ozor or Osor. Or Osore. Either works.
Osore.
Oh, I'm really out of time.
Rip. Did the dev just choke on stream?
Yes. Okay. I died, but it's because I wasn't paying attention. See, and that's also like a thing. Like, when people stream the game, obviously it becomes a little bit more difficult because you kind of have to, pay attention to the chat, and interact, right? So, obviously that kind of adds a new layer of difficulty, right? And it's hard to pay attention. But, yeah. Yeah, what inspired me to create Bert? Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that thing
Hey,
appeared.
Mr. Herring.
Yeah.
Fine.
Honestly, I just had like a weird vision, and he came to be. I don't think I can really fully explain it, but he's there. That moment when your only friend turns against you.
Yep.
I guess that's also like a cool thing in horror movie. That like everything is horrible but this one thing that's all sweet and cute, and he tries to help you. And then he just like glitches.
Yeah.
And you start to question, should I trust that thing? Is he actually good?
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Top 10 anime betrayals. But no, AB is pure, and he has a good robot soul, or I guess operating system, or AI, I guess what you would call it. Yeah.
Yeah, AI, yeah.
There we go. Be gone. That bird thing that everyone is mentioning in the chat.
There you go.
Yeah, Gavin, good question. I'll once I fall asleep here, I'll answer that, because I actually have a few opinions about that.
About FNAF security breach?
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of it
Yeah.
or seen it.
Is that the new Five Nights at Freddy's project that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know of it. I don't know anything about its content or quality.
I've seen the entire Markiplier let's play of it.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Something about like Markiplier. Like I've been watching him since like early 2010s, like 2013, 14, maybe even 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at that point, it kind of starts to become nostalgic, you know.
Oh yeah. No, Markiplier is great. For sure.
I don't know. I just feel like, you know, he might be, you know, playing up a bit, but at least it feels organic, you know. So
Yeah, I
sometimes-
mean, it's a personality. Yeah.
Sometimes you can like definitely tell that like, oh yeah, that's like acting up, and you know he's not being genuine. But sometimes, you know, I don't know. I just like his reactions. Well, sometimes they are kind of, you know, a bit maybe exaggerated, but at least they're, I guess, entertaining, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And since he's played my game, you know, we have a little connection
Yeah.
here.
That's really cool. There you go. There you go.
All right, time to see. If I pay attention, I have a chance. There we go. I was about to sleep. All right. Maybe I can get a bit. Yeah. All right. At least I got a little bit, but bad timing with the pill. sometimes the best time to use the pill is right after a monster appears.
Fear from the unknown comes from the darkness.
Oh.
Kill it with light.
Oh boy. Okay, go away, Ozor. Luckily I have a flashlight here, which can calm me down and reveal that there are no danger in the dark. And some people have said, oh, could you put like a flashlight battery meter anywhere on the screen? But I'm actually kind of against that idea because, first of all, you know, it kind of, you know, clutters the screen a bit. Not this though, this is just developer stuff, but I want to keep, you know, everything as simple and as clutterless as possible. And also, but mainly, like, it feels like more realistic. And again, that fear of, you know, not knowing, like, oh gosh, what is my battery level? I can only tell by its dimness, right? I think that kind of brings a bit more tension. And the more it drains, the less you see, and then, you know, the tougher it gets. And that also kind of, you know, raises tension and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's a reason why there's not a battery level thing. We're really close, guys. Hey, we did it. Last chunk of the game. Let's see if my save will skip. Skip, okay.
There we go. That should unlock those motorized door locks. Now I could go look for those radio parts.
Okay, all good. But yeah. Kind of a bummer, but at least we get this. This is the cool part though. Oh, who's that? Who is that? Yeah, anyways, yeah. So for this update, we also kind of adjusted this whole place. Mainly what we did is increased the amount of already active lights, just to kind of make this whole segment a little bit shorter. Cause yeah, some people said that it was a little bit too dragged out, so we slightly shortened it. So it should be a little more fun. And yeah, should we look at the Oakrel pages if anyone's interested?
Ah, man, that is, yeah. If the chat wants to see it, let's go for it.
What's up, Big Hot Lake?
Big Shot Lake.
Big Shot. Oh my god.
Big Shot Lake.
Sorry, man. It's late, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm gonna keep up my energy for everyone here. All right. I guess let's
You're doing good.
look at it.
You want to?
My name is Michael Okerell. I was a psychological researcher here at Revival's RL95 Human Reconditioning
so
Center.
much, just because of the
Why in the past
really
tense?
atmospheric and
Because when you'll be reading these pages, I will already be gone. To be frank, the probability of someone picking up these papers someday is very meager. Most likely that day will never come and these pages will rot away along with this foul facility. My hope is that someday these pages will be found by someone, but if not, well, at least writing these pages will help me to face this harsh reality and come to some sort of closure. Right before the end, I had to leave something behind, anything, to prove that I existed and to document what really happened here. If by any chance you're actually reading this, well, you made writing these more worth it. If you've cared enough to read this one, my last wish is that you'll find the remaining pages as well, which are scattered throughout the facility. Hopefully, at least some of them will survive long enough. Thank you, and good luck on your search for the other pages.
Here we go. A nice intro. So I guess maybe if anyone in the chat is interested to like look at the rest of them, you let us know, and we'll pick them up. Because there's like 5 more of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love how like see that this is why I kind of wanted to do the notes and you know everything in 3D, not as a PNG. You get some like nice environmental effects like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. And yeah, this room. I guess this is Tristan's favorite room.
It is. This is a vibey room, if you want to call it that.
Oh, it would be so cool to sit here at night.
Oh yeah.
Have little.
It just has very atmospheric, I don't know, vibes to it. I don't know. It's nice.
Oh, also, like the cool thing, like we see like. It's interesting to like, you know, we can bring up that, you know, topic of like people playing your game and seeing how they do, like, and as a developer you see like they exit this room and they see, oh, everything's lit up, and you see like, oh, there's this panel, can I interact? You click, nothing happens. So for this update, something does happen. You can push buttons. There you go. Even with this one.
Pushing buttons is fun.
So that's kind of, I guess, a little thingy. Too simple to do.
Yeah.
What the hell? I should keep it quiet.
Uh-oh. And yeah, it walks into the glass. Right when you said that. Alright, I think we're safe. Okay. Got a radio part. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, should we read the next page?
I leave that up to the dev.
You know, maybe we can save some time, and you know, for those who are interested, you know, they could maybe get the game, or you know, support others and watch their videos.
Yeah, definitely leave the notes for whoever's interested. Sounds good to me.
Alright, so I got that.
It is kind of cool though. I think Gavin earlier was asking about Revival. If you do want to get kind of a little insider scoop on Revival, those notes are a cool piece of lore to add to that.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's do it then. They're not
sure?
They're not that long.
Perhaps the best way to explain this current situation is to start with the social integration project.
Yeah, I mean, those are just a really
It was our duty as scientists to find a cure for the poor souls that were afflicted by severe mental illness and to nurture them back into society. I always used to be against using humans as experimental test subjects, but this was different. It had a promise of a bright future for curing mental illness. However, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. By injecting a series of our newly created drugs into the patients, our hope was to completely erase any signs of mental illness by resetting their psyche. As you might have noticed, the land above us had a secret purpose, which was to act as the final testing ground for integrating our cured patients back into society. After many tests and drug injections later, our first patient was ready to be sent to the surface. To me, he seemed like a normal, happy, genuine person, but if that would have been the case, well, I wouldn't be sitting here in my last moments writing these pages.
There you go. I feel like that page in particular, like, really kind of tells a lot about the company.
Yeah.
Like, what they do gives it like a very nice insight. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of revealing a little bit of the world on that note.
Yeah, there's like a lot of, you know, gray area there. Like, are they good? Are they bad?
Yep.
Makes you ask questions. Area under this construction. Yeah, an ace pilot in these. So I'm gonna show off my dev skill here. Oh, by the way, I guess when we're on the topic of the minigames, yeah, I think it was this year. So game theory, you know, MatPat is just a theory, a game theory. So they had like an anniversary this year, I believe. They were celebrating their 10th anniversary, and basically a bunch of passionate fans put together a little game for game theory. And since game theory did like a cool episode on our game, they approached us and said, hey, we have a few cool ideas, and they asked, would it be okay if we use some of the game mini game mechanics? And we're like, sure, yeah, feel free to do so. And yeah, and it's kind of interesting that like MatPat recognized the game simply from the mini games.
Yeah, that is really cool.
There we go. There we go. All right. Are you gonna? Oh yeah. Okay, fun cool fact about that creature. So all the sounds we did for that, we basically made it ourselves, and so Chris, who makes all these like drone and chasing sounds and creepy ambiances and the background pieces that have insane tension, right? He had like a friend who's like really into metal, you know, metal music genre, and I think he might even be like a singer in a group or something, and he had like the perfect voice for it. Oh, there goes Osfor. And yeah, basically we have a metalhead, I guess, doing all the wonderful grunts and pants and the chasing sounds for that specific thing.
Yeah.
All right. Also, we made these monsters a bit harder. Like they're more sensitive to sound now, so you gotta be extra careful. Also added a bit more stuff here. Okay, I gotta be very quiet here. Sorry everyone, no real commentary here. But yeah, so in this place we also kind of added a few more things here and there. A little bit of things for people to discover. Like this is where the employees were kept underground, that they kind of had to like spend some time here and come up.
A lounge.
Yeah, kind of like this is literally the lounge room, and they had to like figure out how to spend time and find new activities. And you can see here they kind of put together a little music center. They have some kind of something playing. There we go. Gosh, imagine if that was your only tape.
Yeah.
And you would have to listen to that over and over and over and over and over again.
Okay.
Or at least it would be your
In an
only
underground
option.
laboratory.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, I don't know. Speaking of horror, actually, have you watched any of American Horror Story?
1 sec, very soon. This is very low, so get back to it in a bit.
Yep.
Yeah. So Tristan, what was your question?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Well, actually, let's answer here first the question in chat. Jason asks, in Night 4 Dream State, why does the player have 5 stress bars rather than 3?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So since this whole area, basically it had more opportunities for you to lose, or I guess die.
Yeah.
Therefore, because in the first night, I mean, yeah, you have the mini games, but then nothing else can get you. In the second night, still you only have the mini games, but besides that, you're more or less okay. But in this one, you can fall into the generator room, like where we first started off here. You can fall there and die. You can get chased by the two monsters here. That's how you can die. And then on top of that, you have the mini games. So because there are more ways to die here, we thought it would be a good idea to add more stress. But actually, we've seen that people are getting along just fine, probably because by the time they've reached this point in the game, they all are already kind of have gotten better at it, have actually gained a bit of skill and some knowledge in how to beat some of these mini games and how to deal with some of the monsters. So we're actually thinking about potentially putting it back at 3. At least take a 1 off, so have 3 or 4 levels. Obviously, we wanted to do this in this update, but again, due to delays, we had to push things back a bit. But in the next update, like the next major update, I guess, yes, definitely gonna tackle it.
Oh, and then another question too, from Gavin is, what is your biggest fear?
That's also a very interesting question because I have a lot of fears. Probably, honestly, the biggest one, if for some reason, well, if we're strictly talking about scary things and stuff, I guess it would be, oh, someone entered.
Someone just entered the facility.
My biggest fear, I guess it's fear from the unknown again. Easy answers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get scared by snakes or spiders. I guess maybe if like a wild boar ran at me in the middle of night, in the middle of forest, then yeah, that could be a pretty tense fear. And I'm also not afraid of heights, so yeah, I guess. Well, I'm kind of, like the creepy things that you can't explain, and you kind of don't have an answer for, or like it's just way too vague. Like that's kind of what kind of creeps me out and scares me.
Yeah.
What about you, Tristan? What's your biggest fear?
Well, in terms of like scary stuff, definitely. Well, I do not like spiders, and I don't like centipedes or millipedes. I would say those things. I just the creepy crawlers are not. I don't vibe with them. But those are just, I guess, yeah. In terms of like things, those are probably my scariest stuff. But yeah. As far as like actual like horror type stuff goes, that would be it. Definitely.
Like, I don't know, just like, imagine if you would see. Oh, sorry, my cat just joined. Give 1 sec, I'll be right back.
Yeah. I guess while
Yeah,
Martin's
sorry.
away, I'll just say, oh, he's back.
Yeah, sorry everyone. You know, cat things happened. um,
Yeah, oh yeah.
even though my
Cats.
doors are closed, she somehow found a way to get in. But don't worry, she'll get some lovely, I guess, petting later, and maybe a treat.
Ooh, some catnip.
No. Just some, you know, munchies, I guess, for cats.
Raising water pressure detected. Please wind the water valves to prevent a hydraulic explosion.
There we go.
Water pressure has been successfully stabilized.
Yay. Actually, this is like a new minigame, and if you succeed in this one, it'll actually reduce your stress here. So that's the benefit of this minigame. And, you know, some people have kind of said that, oh, what's the, you know, purpose of this? What's the, you know, because besides this minigame, there was nothing here. So, yeah, there actually is, you know, the benefit of getting back some, you know, lost stress bars. But now we actually added a little new thing here. So currently, basically, right now, in the current version that's available on Steam, when you get power back, there's like an announcer thing that kind of announces a few interesting key information about like the facility, and it's, you know, kind of lore material, right?
Yeah.
And we thought it would be cool to kind of separate that and put it in like a controller room here. So this is exactly what we did. So if we push this,
Main report system online.
so every now and then the announcer is gonna say some interesting bit of information about some protocols, how long the blackout was, what's the condition of the facility, and all that good stuff. And if people, you know, find it distracting, they can come back and switch it off. Okay, just for fun, I'm just gonna step on some glass. Oh, nothing happened. Some little action in this stream. I'm actually gonna try to get to a spot where I want to be. Yeah. I guess I can show some cool stuff here. So a bit more, you know, storytelling going on here. You can see this is like very Portal 2 inspired. I guess that's also like a really cool influence or inspiration for me. Like I love Portal 2 and the first Portal. Like those like games I feel like are timeless and very special to me. And you know, it had a lot of environmental storytelling, which I, you know, try to get inspired from and kind of, you know,
Yeah.
try to apply some of those like techniques and ideas here as well. So someone was having a very bad time here.
Yeah. That's true. Someone wasn't having a good day.
Okay, I'm gonna, I think we're clear. There we go. Storage room. Also, I made this place a little bit like darker because there's used to be another light. Taking it off like that right there kind of adds a nice mood. A bit more depth. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, less is more. There are instances in this game where it's very true. Alright. Get the radio part. And we'll need one more. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Nice. Muhammad actually, okay, so Muhammad has a question about like if this is an area or if there are any new areas. No, this is basically all the same like areas, but like updated a bit. We made like the seams between rooms and this main hallway more seamless. Added more, you know, details, some story elements, the lore, and yeah.
Good question.
Oh, I think someone asked me about security breach. Totally forgot about that question. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All I want to say is like, I have, you know, I feel very sorry for the developers because, you know, pandemic is a thing. It sucks, and like you can see that, you know, they had a lot of ambition with their game, and obviously, like just like us, they had to do a few delays to make it all work. But that's just how the way you know, games are. Like, I think like games are like might be one of the most like difficult things to do, maybe, because making a server or like a business program honestly is not that difficult. It's just like some data entries, search algorithms, whatever. It's already there. But I feel like for like games, you know, if you want to do something unique, you know, some unique game mechanics, like I kind of feel like more stuff goes into that, because I don't know, you don't really see like, well, I don't know, I was about to say you don't really see broken programs being launched, but I mean, Adobe like programs crash all the time, so
Yeah.
so yeah, I really empathize with security breach developers. and know where the last fuse is. Oh, not the fuse, but the radio part. Okay, we're good.
That's the last one. Time to get the hell out of here.
There we go. Alrighty. F displaced. And watch me parkour like an ace.
Yeah. Pro gamer moves.
This is where the video game comes from. There we go. Parkour like an ace. It almost sounds like a rap song.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little bug.
Hey, wait.
Overeasy.
Tom, please don't come. Hear me out. Please, just unlock the door.
I think you'll be comfortable here for a nice long time, Ethan.
Okay, yeah. That's a little bug, don't worry. For now, let's just wake up. There we go. Alright, yeah, so I apologize for the bug. Luckily, I know what it is, and it's an easy fix. It would be completely different if I had no idea what the hell that was. And yeah, it would be a little not that good, but yeah, I know how to fix it, don't worry. says the developer. But
Yeah.
yeah,
All good.
Yeah, so basically we have reached the end.
Yeah. There's a few more questions in the chat if you want to address those.
Yeah, let's address the questions.
Yeah. I guess we'll save night 5 questions for last, if you want to.
Well, I guess we can talk about it here since, we're at the end of the game.
Yeah. But I guess to wrap up the night 4 questions, Muhammad asked if there is any way to escape the monster if he sees us, and I'm guessing he's just referring to the general parts of the underground laboratory.
Yes. Yes, there is a way to. So basically, if the monsters start chasing you, basically the longer they chase you, the more tired they get. So if you can manage to run away longer from them, or take, don't run into a straight line, or try to, be sneaky. Take don't have your path like an S, letter or something like that. Walk around obstacles and stuff. then the more you do that, the more chance you have of running longer, and then the longer you run, obviously you increase your distance, the monsters get slower, and you have a chance to escape them. So yeah.
Awesome. And then, yeah, I guess we just hop into the night 5 questions.
Yes.
Yeah, so Jason asks, what will the falling asleep stage be like?
Right. So, okay, I do want to, have a few promises for you, when you play the last 2 nights. But I will say that some of the things might get flipped around, especially in the very last night. Gameplay wise, I'll just say that. But I can, reveal this because AB said it in this night. The next time when we go to sleep, it's gonna be a different location. And it's gonna be our rehabilitation center. And yeah, that's gonna be a completely different level where you will be falling asleep, fending off monsters and trying to stay calm, and yeah, try not to get the hallucinations to get you. So yeah.
And I think the last one too, and of course only answer, I guess, what you're willing to give away. But in the dream state of night 5, what monsters would the player encounter?
I do want to keep that a little secret.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I apologize, but
to be
I hope you understand.
To be revealed, definitely. Yeah, I gotta, there's some really good surprises coming in the last 2 nights that will, I guess comparatively, it'll be like watching Attack on Titan. And if you've gotten to the big part of Attack on Titan that just totally blows the lid off, I mean, that's kind of what, not to hype it up or anything, but that's kind of the magnitude we're talking about here. There's just stuff that's going to be best experienced firsthand in the game, I guess we can say.
Yeah, that's coming, from Tristan, not from me. So, and I don't want to maybe necessarily compare myself and the game to Attack on Titan. But let's just say it's gonna be very special. It's gonna be very special.
Yeah. There's some really, really awesome things coming in the next 2 nights.
And Tristan knows because he has actually kind of helped me to give some early feedback. Story wise, if it all makes sense, if it all connects. And yeah, you can hear the man talk for himself, by himself, or I don't know, sorry, English. But
yeah, no, it's worth sticking around, and it's worth going in as blind as possible, which everyone is, because no one should know what's happening. But yeah, it is best just going in blind and experiencing it firsthand, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome.
I will say though, I know it might sound maybe a little bit corny, but honestly, like what happens in the last 2 nights, I've thought about what happens story-wise, like basically, like I sometimes even have trouble falling asleep. Lol, name drop, but. When I go to sleep, some you tend to kind of rethink your day. You kind of plan for tomorrow. Just it's what kind of helps me to fall asleep. Kind of think about what I experienced today, but like for the past few months, I've been just thinking about what happens story wise in the last two nights, and yeah, I can't really describe it. You'll have to experience it eventually, hopefully. Um, and that ending has always been in mind. So everything has been building up towards that climax. And yeah, rest assured, we did not make it up when we went along. Obviously, we found some cool, things to add. Yeah, but we had the end game in sight for the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfectly said. Um, and I'm really excited to see it all. We behind the scenes helping out, getting everything, all the ducks in the row, editing, planning. It's all gone really well, and I think the script and the plan is in a really good place, and now now the all, quote unquote, but it's, a lot left to do, but it's just getting these 2 nights made and getting the full release taken care of, and that's going to be a really great time for the game.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, like, every time when we release a night, like, people are very happy when we do so, but when they finish it, they get upset because they have to like wait for the next one, and
Yeah.
that's I guess it's very positive because people really care about what happens next and they want to play more. So I guess maybe to make it a little easier, instead of waiting twice, maybe just made it wait a little longer and get the full finale. And the last two nights connect really well together, not to mention the entire game. And to release them separately, I kind of didn't like the idea of that. I kind of want them to be all there in a full release. So yeah, that's the intent.
Yep. Oh, I guess. Calladio asks, and this is, I think, more along the lines of difficulty, but how strong will the difficulty be in comparison, and are you planning on adding difficulty modes / settings?
Yeah, well, see, that's a. I guess we want to keep it simple, as simple as possible. Again, we're only 3 people, and although we'd love to have some sort of level so the players can adjust to their specific difficulty and therefore kind of adjust the experience, but with the system that we currently have in place, that's just not. It will be very hard to implement at this stage, since we have more than like 60% of the game done. Kind of similar, to going back and redoing the entire input system. I'm not saying that's not something we couldn't do. And I'm not saying that it's something that's not on the table. But yes, I mean, we will, consider everything, consider what we can and can't do. And yeah, we'll wait out all the options, obviously main priority is to finish the last 2 nights, try to, reach the full potential of the 2 nights and the whole game in the full release. And yeah, and there are still many things that we want to do, like add key rebinding, add a bit more interactivity with monsters. When you shine a flashlight on one of them, one of them goes away faster. Stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Add a bit more depth, and also polish everything in the end.
Yep.
So I appreciate the feature requests, and some of them are really good, but there's only so much we can do.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That is, I mean, at least all question-wise, I think that there's to cover. If I guess anyone's more than welcome to either put them in the chat. I mean, throw them on Twitter too, of course.
Yeah, and to
Just at AmberDrop.
and to elaborate on Kaleido, sorry for butchering that. Yeah, I mean, difficulty levels are, I don't know, they're kind of weird to me. Well, I then again, I'm not that big of a hardcore gamer, so I can't really tell. Ironic because I'm a game developer myself, but I try to make the game difficulty wise fair to, I guess, everyone. Maybe it is kind of hard to make a game from everyone with one difficulty, but maybe in doing so you kind of you can better see the stronger and weaker sides of the difficulty itself, and even some of the game mechanics. Like, you can see what's more fair and what's less fair. But yeah, honestly, I've only had one set of difficulty, and it just simply changes and increases along the nights. So yeah.
Okay. And Kaleido had one more, I guess, question or comment, and just what are your thoughts on a VR port once you set up the input system? They say that Unity tends to be quite easy to just port things over once you use the standard input library.
Yeah, I mean, that question about VR and doing this game in VR, it's like this one of the most popular questions we get. Again, it's I keep saying this, but we're only 3 people, and we've got to make 2 more nights. That said, though, I do really love me some VR, and if I were to straight up port the game to a take the base game and basically port straight to VR with minimal effort, I don't think that would maybe do it justice. I kind of feel like the proper way would be to maybe do almost like a spin-off, because as a game designer and thinking about VR mechanics, my biggest concern is the blanket mechanic. How would you implement that in VR? I guess it kind of sounds simple enough, but then you have to kind of think about collision, and then you have to take the controller and drag the blanket. The blanket has to have more physics to it, and then you have to maybe lean your head in order for it to be under the blanket. It's just it almost kind of completely changes some of the mechanics and the design of the game as well. But maybe I'm wrong. Again, I've never made a VR game before. Maybe my stance on it or view might change, but currently, yeah, our main, focus after this update will be to start working on the last two nights, which we've already been done a little bit of work on. Obviously, writing the scripts, putting some groundwork for, the next levels, and yeah. Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
Caladio, are you? I guess you're a fellow game designer as well. That's awesome. Cool to have like other fellow,
Awesome.
Developers. And
Absolutely. I know. Okay, Jason was also talking about the potential for a extra mini game, just to make it a little bit more tricky. And in that mini game, you are chased by Merg. So it's not like just kind of like a request about a potential extra mini game in Night 2.
Well, yeah. I mean, currently, Night 2 is all right, but yeah, we do want to do a little bit more with it. So I'm not sure. Well, about like mini games, adding like a new mini game, but definitely, adding a bit more interactivity. Add some maybe more spookier events, and there. I don't want to like share one feature that we want to add just yet, but there we had this cool idea to kind of expand the. Well, I guess I'll simply just say it without wasting time. Basically, we have these background characters, but you don't really know much about them. You don't really know much about Tom, Mark, Kate, and even Daisy and Ethan. So we think in the second dream it would be a good opportunity to kind of have a way to kind of get to know more about them, maybe with some flashbacks or stuff like that. So in terms of like adding more things to Night 2, we kind of think of it in that way, because like Night 2 is designed to be a slight-ish break from the first night, because the first night for the first level in the game is already pretty intense. So we felt like doing Night 2 a little bit laid back, a little bit chill, give the player a bit more time to breathe, explore the entire island, get to know the location and stuff. Felt right, and that's why it might seem like the second night is a bit too slow, but yes, we definitely have a bit more plans for the second dream, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Good answer, definitely. So potential Night 2, additional content, I guess, in the future, and maybe some more backstory to some characters.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, we can continue to chat. We've been already live for 3 hours. Damn, time flies by.
Yep. Yeah, it does. And yeah, Clyde, that's awesome too, going to university for game design and programming, working with Unity and Unreal. That's really cool. Actually, Unreal 5 looks to be extremely powerful, and I am extremely excited to see where games go with that engine and see what's possible from studios that are going to be adopting it and developing games with it. So yeah.
I'm gonna put on some background music real quick. There we go. Yeah. I don't know if people have seen the Matrix demo that they recently showed. But yeah, that was very impressive. Like,
oh yeah, that was insane.
Like, okay, two main things here, right? Lighting and model optimization. Okay, two big things that have been like limiting games and making them run like, you know, like 15 frames per second, because there's a lot of geometry, and you want to have as good lighting as you possibly can, but sometimes you do have to make these optimization sacrifices, like bake lights instead of rendering them in real time, you know, have like a texture instead of actual light source, and then reflections as well. Those are, you know, pre-calculated, and then, you know, taking like an insanely detailed model and then combining triangles and, you know, reducing the whole geometry, that like takes quite a bit of time, you know. Like
resources.
Optimizing our monsters for the game, that alone, I feel like it takes like almost like a solid third of the monster creation. At least, you know, with our with our, you know, experience.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. I mean, it's not easy, you know. It takes time and effort and resources to build these things. So
it just feels like from a game developer's perspective, it just feels like very liberating that, you know, that kind of stuff is coming. And yeah, making things easier and just like removing things for you to worry about. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, any other, I guess, does the head developer have any other comments that you want to make about the game, or updates, or anything else in general?
Well, I guess, well, basically, look forward to the release of this update. I do have, as we saw, there were a few tiny little bugs, but I think I'll be successful in, hopefully successful in, you know, fixing them tomorrow and releasing them.
Awesome.
Yeah. And if not, you know, feel free to post in Steam discussions. But yeah. That's also like kind of, you know, I almost kind of feel like, unless you make games yourself, you kind of understand this, but like finding the right balance when to release a game and then deciding, oh, it's good enough, let's release it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's tough. With like bigger productions, because there are deadlines, you know, there are investors.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot more pressure with that. And
yeah, absolutely. That is when you get working for the big studios, especially once you get into AAA territory. I mean, look at, everyone knows the example of CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk. I mean, that's gonna be an infamous example for years to come about,
I mean, honestly,
you know, game development done wrong.
It kind of makes us paranoid as well, you know.
I know the rest of the industry too is.
See how, you know, I don't want to say screw up, but, you know, I guess essentially, you know, sometimes, you know, you screw up.
Yeah, mismanaged. Yeah.
And as a game developer, you feel that, because like you understand, you kind of have an idea what went into like creating a particular, you know, mechanic or game design idea, and then just see it all like glitch the hell out. Trust me, when I see bugs in my game when other people play on live streams or in their Let's Play videos, that like hits like, it's like, imagine like your grandma finds this horrible picture of you when you were extremely young and you're doing something incredibly stupid, yeah, like something very kind of makes you not ashamed, but you know,
Cringe a little.
yeah, cringe a little, yeah, at yourself. And then she takes that photo and posts on Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah.
Almost,
Yeah.
because it's like your mistake, or you know, the thing that you kind of let happen or something like that. It gets publicly displayed. And you
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, and you realize
Public humiliation.
yeah, it's literally public humiliation. Imagine, you know, for imagine, I can't imagine like how horrible it was for like CD Projekt staff, because you know those guys were crunching, right? Like they were
Oh yeah,
crunching.
big time.
Imagine like working like I don't know the hour count, but like from 8 o'clock
Jeez.
till, you know, sometimes 2 a.m. or something like that.
Right. Right.
And then, you know, releasing it and nobody likes it, or a few people like it, and it's all broken and stuff. That,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
And then, you know, the internet comes after it and everything too.
yeah. And then there's like
Yeah.
a side.
And it's not even.
Yeah, sorry, what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, just being a dev and, you know, you're crunching. It's not even your fault that these deadlines are happening. It's all, you know, it's like corporate decisions, right? And then all of a sudden the game probably needs another 6 months to a year, but it comes out way too early, and then it's all for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, because I hate doing, you know, delays as well, but there is at some point you just gotta release, but at least we have the liberty to, you know, take as much time as we want to. At least we don't have like a corporate, you know, pressure or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our ramble on gaming industry. But I think without, if we have any viewers left after that, I think we could maybe do the giveaway.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. And by the way, for those who, I mean, this stream is gonna be saved, probably, you know, for later viewing. So who knows? Maybe you can still try the codes after this thing is not live anymore. I mean, the live stream, not the game. Like if the live stream, you know, stops, I think you can still, you know, in the video get the keys and try. Maybe maybe someone hasn't, you know, tried it yet. So yes, I think we can luckily and successfully move to that. So all right, if everyone is ready, I'm gonna reveal the 3 keys on the count of 2. Ready? All right, so count of 2. I'm sorry, I'm tired. On count of 3. All right, so 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so here are 3 keys.
This is a race.
Yes. Well, I mean, not. I mean, it can be, but I guess it's the fastest one is the luckiest or whatever. But yeah, there's even a tiny, nice little instruction on how to redeem these.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Some Steam keys here.
Yes, I guess.
Get everyone or 3 people plugged in here so they can enjoy the game.
How many viewers do we have actually?
According to YouTube, we currently have 4. So.
Excellent.
And one of them might be me. So that means that in
Nice.
theory, everyone here would have a free coffee. because I already
Nice.
have a copy.
Awesome. So we have 3 potential live viewers who might get a free Steam key if they're quick enough.
I'm pretty sure you have a copy of the game, Martin. Not sure, but willing to bet on it.
I might have a few.
You might have some access.
Yeah. I have some access to some unfinished exclusive content, unreleased content.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well then, there might be one code floating out in the wild. There might be several codes floating out in the wild here.
Yeah, you can bring a friend. Maybe he doesn't have a code yet. So.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as we know from the viewer count and who's commenting, who already has copies, all 3 might still be live or active. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe some of these schemes won't be redeemed. After the stream ends, maybe some of these keys will only be, activated when the live stream has been turned into a video, and it's already,
That's true.
next year and into the next year. So whatever.
Yeah. No, it was a good stream though. If those still around, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate just, hearing out what Martin had to say and getting some good updates on stuff. Glad to answer questions when we could and get to do a playthrough of the game here for everyone. So
yeah, I hope, everyone had at least some sort of entertainment. I hope it was interesting to see some, insight in, all this, and I guess our, how we think about things and all that. And thank you, Caladio, for, also, commenting and sharing your game developer experience. Really awesome. I hope I did somewhat of a decent job. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not a huge streamer, so I try to do the best I can. Hopefully I did.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, absolutely.
We even got to see a few cool bugs. So, yeah, you get to see them before they get destroyed. Hopefully.
There you go.
And yeah, I basically...
Yeah, that's the hope anyway.
I just had an idea. It would be cool to, kind of, test the game live and catch the bugs live. Maybe it would... I don't know. Hopefully it was, it kind of worked. It was entertaining. And yeah, bringing you guys in, having a little fun discussion also was, really very exciting. Yes.
Yeah, of course. But yeah. Well, should we put a topper on it and call it?
Yes.
Or
yes.
Yep, sounds good.
Sorry, but yeah.
Sounds good. Well, yep, we'll conclude it here, and of course you can always yell at Martin or AmberDrop or even me if you want to on Twitter. We're, I guess, pretty accessible on there. And yeah, other than that, stay tuned for more updates. Got the update coming out tomorrow, if all goes according to plan. And
yeah, just before
from there it'll be on to
yeah, sorry for cutting you. Just continue it.
No, so and then after that, it'll just be building up anticipation for the last 2 nights, and then that'll be a fun time.
Oh yeah. Yes, please look forward to the upcoming update, and we hope to see you around, when the last 2 nights come out. I mean, I wish I could give a rough estimate, but there are a few things I don't want to disclose yet that could, potentially influence the speed of the development, of the game. It's very highly dependent on that, and we're gonna be working things out in the upcoming days, and that might also kind of influence how things go. But you know, I know I keep raving about the ending of the game, but honestly, that ending like is the one of the most like important things that has kind of kept me going, and is like my gut feeling just says, yeah, I cannot back off. You know, I have to like
Oh yeah.
continue and finish this.
You got to go in all the way.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do everything I can to finish this, no matter what the odds are.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I guess with with that very interesting note, I guess we can call it a stream.
Happy New Year, and have a good one.
Yes, Happy New Year, everyone, and hope you have a wonderful time next year, and enjoy yourselves.
Yes.
And be happy.
May 2021 be a good year.
Yes, let's just keep hoping it's just gonna get better eventually.
Yep.
All right. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you for joining the stream.